I'm not going to make this long at all. It wasn't even a full 24 hours ago that I made a video criticizing El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele. They should have called him Nayib Bukele. Instead of Nayib, they should call him Naive, because you're naive. That's what you are. You're naive. This is Judge Judy talking to you. So I was criticizing this guy for, first of all, being stupid enough to allow them to somehow sucker his ass into putting $21 million into Bitcoin, right? That bought him 400 coins of Bitcoin, tokens. Because I hate calling Bitcoin a coin. I hate, you know, the sad thing about it, it's so disingenuous that cryptocurrency isn't really a currency. It's a fucking token. And what they do, in order to hammer it into your mind, they force you to use words that you normally wouldn't use. They call Bitcoin a coin. It's not a fucking coin. It's a token. It should be called Bit Token. So from now on, I'm going to do my best not to call, quote-unquote, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. I'm going to call it Bit Token. In fact, I'm not even going to call it that. From now on, I'm going to call it Bitcoin Crumbs, because that's what you're really getting. First of all, the El Salvadorian citizens were supposed to be handed $30 worth of Bitcoin Crumbs. That's what they're, so Bitcoin Crumbs, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it Bitcoin Crumbs. So they were all handed, or supposedly they were supposed to be handed $30 worth of Bitcoin Crumbs. So they spent $21 million buying this shit, and then bought the dip. They bought the dip. They bought the dip around $47,000. They bought the dip. But what they didn't realize was that it was going to keep dipping. So, I'm sorry. What's the value of Bitcoin right now? Let's take a look. What's the value of Bitcoin? Oh! 45,452. So, since they bought the dip, let's see, what was it 24 hours ago? 24 hours ago? I'm sorry, where was it? It was at $46,962. They bought the dip, and right now it is at 45,423, and that's after hitting a low today of $44,140. They bought the dip. Now, by the way, so first of all, what I really should do is I should have a moment of silence for the nation of. I should have a moment of silence for the nation of what is it called? What are these people? El Salvador. So let's have a moment of silence for El Salvador. Okay, so El Salvador, that was like a little moment of silence for them. And then I should remind you that my friend Elon Musk of Tesla, oh, how are they doing? Now, Tesla's stock is really based on the fact that Tesla is a manufacturer of automobiles, solar panels, and batteries. Tesla, or under Elon Musk, I can't say Tesla did this because Tesla didn't do this. Elon Musk did this. Over the last year, they had reached a high of $880. I told everybody, I was like, hey, yo, guys, they're about to do a stock split. You know, you want to get in on that, right? And that was back in, that was August of last year. But I never could have imagined that this stupid bastard would risk Tesla's money and buy fucking Bitcoin Bitcoin crumbs with Tesla's money. And that sent the stock plunging. What was it? The lowest that the stock went down to was 563, because what they didn't understand was that the average person who's investing in Tesla doesn't want exposure to Bitcoin. In fact, if they really wanted to invest in Bitcoin, they would have taken their money and they would have invested in Bitcoin instead of investing in Tesla at a high. So the stock plunged from 880 down to, right now it's at 736. Now, one of the things about Tesla is, and I made a video about this before, despite the fact Elon fucked up and he tied the value of Tesla to Bitcoin by doing that, he should have just gambled his own money, because if he had lost $1 million or $10 million or $30 million, who gives a fuck? But the investors don't deserve that treatment. So all I'm going to say is this. Elon bought the dip. That's what Elon did. He bought the dip. Because if you remember, Bitcoin, when he got it in the $50,000 to $55,000 range. So right now, yeah, Tesla, let's look at their stock for today. Because the problem is, this is what fucking happens, Elon, you moron. You government-funded welfare baby. What you don't understand is when you tie one value to another, if Bitcoin goes down, so does Tesla. Well, guess what happened today? Today, Tesla dropped from $760 to $736. Now tell me, what other argument could you make that would cause a car company that's making Model Ys and Model 3s and actually managing to turn a profit, but still they don't pay a dividend? But what would you call it that Bitcoin suddenly plunges and Tesla does too? This is what happens when you tie the value of one asset to a speculative asset and you start losing money. Now, again, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be very clear about this, because I don't want there to be any mistake. Yeah, listen, I still believe in Tesla stock. The reason why is, once again, they're making electric cars, they're making batteries, they're making solar panels. And on top of that, the really big thing you have to remember, next year, they're going to be opening their Tesla superchargers up to other cars. Cadillac Lyriq, Audi e-tron, Mercedes EQS, EQE, EQA. So all of these people, Polestar, Volvo, all of them are going to be able to feed at the Tesla trough. I can already tell you, because I asked a couple of Tesla employees this question, and they weren't able to give me an answer, but I already know what's going to happen, because you know me, I see the future like a Terminator that came from the future to kill John Connor. But basically, what's going to ultimately happen, Tesla is going to give out subscription services. Everybody who wants to be able to use the Tesla superchargers with their brand new electric car is going to be able to get a subscription to Tesla, whether they pay monthly or whether they pay by a credit card or some kind of near-field communication card. But they're going to be able to get subscriptions to Tesla, and that is going to send Tesla stock skyrocket. Well, it's going to, no, I won't say skyrocketing. It's going to send Tesla stock to the, I can't say to the moon, because these people are so stupid, they'll take it seriously. No, it's going to send Tesla's stock higher than it is. Now, that's just what's going to happen. It's coming. It's going to happen. They already announced it. I don't have to think about it. That's what's going to happen. So just be prepared for that. If you're a Tesla shareholder and you're thinking about shorting Tesla, to tell you the truth, I probably wouldn't do it, especially if you got in lower when it was at the when it was in the $590 range. You're definitely up. You're up what, more than $150. So nah, if I were you, I'd probably just hold on to it, because you're not going to see the gains that I'm talking about until the end of next year. You may see it earlier. You may see it within Q3 2022. But that is going to happen. But let's just take a message from this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other companies already have. Most other companies, with the exception of pay transfer, wire services, Visa, MasterCard, things like that, most other services, they're going to steer clear of this cryptocurrency bullshit, because they're already seeing what's happening. They're seeing it. The problem with a speculative asset is the volatility. I think by now We understand that. The thing about a Ponzi scheme you have to remember is that as long as you get your money in there early, that's when you make the money off a Ponzi scheme. But the problem is you have no idea how high it's going to go. You already know that the low is 0, but you have no idea how high it's going to go. So there's a lot of people who heckle anti-cryptocurrency people, and they're like, yeah, well, what are you doing? If you put your money in stock, it's like, listen. Dividend stocks are paying me. I've made a couple of videos talking about my dividend stocks. It's paying me, and that's the bottom line. I wouldn't talk about them if I didn't believe in them. And the thing about it is you don't get no dividend off no crypto. I know there's some cryptocurrency scams that are trying to say, oh, listen, if you give us your cash money, we'll turn it into crypto tokens, and we'll give you a payment. We'll give you some type of payment at the end of the week. Right now, I got somebody breathing down my neck in a chat, on a text chat, telling me about this crypto scam that they got going, where all I got to do is give them money and my cash money will double. And I'm like, how fucking stupid do you think I am? Do you think I'm too stupid to understand what a Ponzi scheme is? I understand what they are. I understand what they look like, guy. So just stop. Just stop it. But that's basically all I really had to say. I didn't even intend to be this long. So El Salvador, man, when they get their hands on that president, they're going to kick his ass. They're like, you risked our money. You risked our money on Bitcoin. You told us it was going to go to the moon. You told us that we were going to Mars. You told us, you said, Mr. Bukele, you said we were going to Jupiter. You said we were going to Pluto. Where's my money? Where's me the tengo mi dinero? You told us that we're going to Mars. Where is my money? When they get their hands on that guy, they're gonna beat him like a red-headed stepchild. And I'll tell you what, Bukele, you absolutely deserve it, because I don't know who tricked you into this bullshit. The IMF, whoever it was, they're trying to, they said, okay, El Salvador's currency ain't worth shit, so what we'll do is we'll use them and trick everybody else into trying to go into this nonsense. Well, guess what? By buying the dip, you just lost over, you just lost a decent chunk of value from money. What y'all should have done was focused on improving your imports and exports and your tariffs and your taxes. And you should have focused on making El Salvador a vacation retreat so that people would want to come there and spend money in El Salvador. Now, I understand you're hurting because of COVID. Everybody's hurting because of COVID. But what we don't do